Get ready to hear the truth about America on a show that's not immune to the facts with your host, Dan Bongino.
All right, we're going to do a little integrity test in the beginning of the show today. I'm going to show you some headlines that when we say these things, they're considered, istophobic, phobophobic stuff, racist, misogynist, xenophobic. But when the left actually says those exact same things, they're celebrated for it. Matter of fact, they even put them in headlines. Don't miss it. I promise you some of the exact words. Today's show brought to you by ExpressVPN. Protect your online activity and data from big tech. Get a VPN. Get the one I trust. Go to expressvpn.com/Bongino. Welcome to the Dan Bongino Show. Let's get right to it. I've also got a nice solid announcement coming up later. I'm very happy. The parallel economy, getting away from the cancel culture left, is coming together and starting to solidify nicely. I'm super excited about it. Today's show brought to you by Tommy John. Hey, this fall, get the boxers that check all the boxes. Ultralight, soft, and quick drying. That's Tommy John's new Apollo men's underwear. When you start off your day wearing Tommy John like I do, you're that much more comfortable. You can do everything better. Tommy John's men's underwear has breathable, lightweight, moisture-whipping fabric. It looks great. It's comfortable. It has 4 times the stretch of competing brands. You'll never wear another pair of underwear again. I know I don't. I wear these, only these. That's why Tommy John, they don't have customers. They have fanatics with over 16 million pairs sold. I was a fan way before they were a sponsor. This fall, upgrade what's underneath. Also with new Tommy John underwear, and feel the same level of comfort with their luxuriously soft loungewear too. It looks good enough. You can wear them anywhere. It feels good enough to wear them to bed. They are super comfortable and butter soft. It's all backed by Tommy John's best pair you'll ever wear. It's free guarantee. Get 20% off your first order right now. Go today to TommyJohn.com/Dan. That's TommyJohn.com/Dan for 20% off. TommyJohn.com/Dan. Don't wait. See site for details. All right, Joe, let's go.
Here we go, bro.
So showing you again how the left, they have no principles at all. They have no dignity left, these radical leftists. I'm not talking about all Democrats. I'm talking about these radical leftists. And everything with them is a game. It's going to be a theme in the show today, how they consistently lie and misrepresent their position. Remember a few weeks ago when they attacked Tucker Carlson, a few months ago as well, they attack him all the time, for suggesting that Democrats want illegal immigrants to get into the country because they're having a problem with working class voters and they're planning on replacing them. Remember that one? I'm going to get to some headlines in a minute. Remember that one? Oh, you're racist, xenophobe. Remember that?
Yeah.
We get to a headline in a minute of the left saying the exact same thing. Hat tip Michael Anton and his celebration parallax here too. We discussed that a while back. How the left will celebrate something, and when you mention the fact that they're celebrating doing something, they call you a racist. Number 2, we'd all agree discrimination is bad, correct? We'd all agree discrimination is a bad thing. I mean, I was raised by my parents to treat people based on their character, right? No, not the left. Dan, clearly you got that wrong. The left said we're the racists. No, I didn't get it wrong. I'll get to that in a second too. What about discriminating against people for their political beliefs and treating them differently in the media? Wait, I thought the journalists said they were the fair ones, not us. Yeah, that's not true either. And I thought we weren't allowed to talk about elections being stolen. The left talks about it all the time. They're obsessed with the idea. I thought of this yesterday. It's one of those reasons, again, I'll get to my locals account later in the announcement. I just kind of teased it, but I was listening to this segment with Obama and McAuliffe and how just the gall on these people, how they just don't care. The left constantly gives you the middle finger, and then they accuse you of doing the same thing. Here, just quick, go through these headlines, proving to you these people have no integrity at all. So they call this replacement theory, getting illegal immigrants into the country to replace the working class voters they're losing. They call that racist and xenophobic. Here's the New York Times themselves, Michelle Goldberg, writing about it. In a Georgia election, we can replace them. This is the actual headline. Look, it's the headline. We can replace them. It's the actual headline in the New York Times. Again, they do something. Let's replace working class voters. You call them out on it like, oh, you're definitely a racist. You just said it. Here's number 2. Discrimination's a bad thing, right? We all can agree. Conservatives. Liberals love discrimination. Here's Ibram Kendi. Is the cure for racism really more racism? Wall Street Journal article. They cite Ibram Kendi, critical race theory proponent. He runs from it, but it's true. Critical race theory proponent, claiming right here the only remedy to past discrimination is present discrimination. The only remedy to present discrimination is future discrimination. The left is openly calling for discrimination. You say that as a conservative, forget it. It's over. And it should be. Discrimination is horrible. You say that, you will be canceled immediately. The left celebrates it, though. Here's Brian Stelter. This is the story that got me going, along with the Obama speech, where they talk in such nasty ways about us. And then the minute we fight back, you're such meanies, conspiracy theories, you big smellies. Here's Brian Stelter and his guest yesterday saying, hey, we should be treating Republicans and Democrats differently in the media. If we said that, Fox News, the Bongino show, so biased, pay no attention to them. Here's the quote. Here's the coffee boy at CNN from a Fox News article. They wrote about it. He says, I want to dive right into your argument. He's talking about this LA Times journalist about both-siderism and why it's failing the public. Is it that we're treating Democrats and Republicans equally and ignoring GOP radicalism? Is that the heart of the problem? The columnist, Jessica Combs, said that was, in a sense, correct. They're just saying it right now. Treat them differently. They're supposed to be meeting people. Here's one more. Again, integrity test. You Republicans are not allowed to talk about stolen elections. You can go yourself, okay? We'll talk about whatever we want because you don't have a problem talking about stolen elections. Here's an Aaron Blake article in the Washington Post a while ago talking about prominent Democrats Cory Booker and Hillary Clinton. Here are some quotes. The election's being stolen from Stacey Abrams. That's Cory Booker. Hillary Clinton about Abrams. She would have won if it had been a fair election. And then Democrat hack Sherrod Brown in Ohio. He went so far as to say, if Stacey Abrams doesn't win in Georgia, they stole it. Ladies and gentlemen, ignore these people. They have no integrity at all. Ignore these people. I say that now because they're lying and they're up to the same scams again. They're saying the quiet part out loud. And then yet when you point it out to them, they claim you're the liar. It's happening right now in Virginia, where they're openly acknowledging parents have no role in education. Your kids should be taught transgender ideology and to hate one another through critical racism training. And then when you call them, they celebrate it. And then when you call them out, they call you a conspiracy theorist. You doubt me? Look at this Washington Post headline. Jack Schneider and Jennifer Berkshire. Parents claim they have the right to shape their kids' school curriculum. They don't. This is an actual headline. And yet when you point out that you're in charge, they're your kids, they call you some kind of right-wing nut conspiracy. No one's trying to get the parents out of the schools. They're admitting it. They're celebrating it right now. Look, here's Randy Weingarten from the Teachers Union giving you, again, the double-barreled middle finger, celebrating this piece about how parents shouldn't have the right to dictate what's taught to their kids. Great piece on parents' rights in public schools, Randy Weingarten. Folks, they don't care. They're not hiding it anymore. The party of JFK is dead. They don't care about the polls or anything. Here's a Signal poll on this issue. This is a poll of parents who have a child in K through 12 education in Virginia. Look at the percentage by which they're voting for Youngkin over Terry McAuliffe. 56% for Youngkin, 39% for McAuliffe. Folks, they don't care. They don't care. They are so committed to stealing everything away from you and exposing themselves now in public. Replacement theory, that's their thing. Discrimination, taking over the right for you to determine what's taught and not taught to your kids. They are so determined to doing it right now. They are celebrating it in your face. And then when you acknowledge it, they accuse you of being a wacko. And a terrorist, too, as Guy points out. Why is this so important right now? Look at this article in the Washington Examiner. As I said to you the other day, David Drucker article. A GOP win in Virginia could kill Biden's agenda in Washington. Folks, I am hearing from insiders that this race in Virginia for the governorship, Joe's right there. He's up in Maryland. They're like the same. They're like one big state right there, Delmarva, right? Yeah. Folks, it would resonate all over the country. I'm hearing now as well that Jack Citarelli, the Republican in New Jersey is making moves against Phil Murphy as well. It would stop the Democrats right in their tracks. They are sticking it in your face now. I just want to be clear about the point of this opening segment. It is this. They are sticking it in your face, celebrating discrimination, celebrating replacement theory. That's their thing. celebrating stolen election narratives, celebrating diminishing the role of parents in the school system. And it's not just that they're celebrating it. When you point it out, they attack you as a conspiracy theorist and a nut. You may be saying, that's not possible. How can they celebrate it and then attack you for pointing out what they're celebrating? Exactly. Check out Michael Anton's celebration parallax. A parallax. It's the same thing when seen through different angles, looks differently to different people. You must celebrate the left's agenda. If you don't, they'll call you a conspiracy theorist. So I got an update on what's going on with me and the vaccine mandates and Cumulus. But I want to play this video first to show you how it's spreading, folks. People are realizing the vaccine mandate is the fight of our time. The vaccine mandate involving sovereignty over your own body and your decisions is the fight of our time. Here was a rally yesterday on the Brooklyn Bridge in New York City. New York City police officers, firemen, first responders, and city workers. This is New York City, pretty liberal place. Granted, government workers, especially cops and firemen, can lean a little bit conservative. But these are city workers too. Marching and numbering in the thousands, crossing the Brooklyn Bridge, objecting to this vaccine mandate. It is spreading. People are realizing that this is the fight. Without this fight, if we lose fight for sovereignty over our own bodies, it is over. Check this out. Now, not only is it just spreading in New York City, obviously a very liberal place, it's spreading everywhere. Folks, I have a radio show that's syndicated by Cumulus. Cumulus decided it would be a good idea to institute a vaccine mandate. They didn't consult with us, their content providers, or anything like that. They just did it. People were subsequently let go. I strongly object in the strongest possible terms to this vaccine mandate. The fight with them, candidly, folks, is having a real effect. I'm very open with you here. I always will be. You've been a great audience to me for a long time. But behind the scenes, it's getting a little ugly here. I wasn't on the radio today, or yesterday. I won't be on the radio today. I don't know what they did, play the best of or whatever. But you don't treat people this way. You don't treat people the way they treated the people that were let go from Cumulus because of their insistence that their body is theirs. I got an email, not going to say from who, but it was from a former employee of Cumulus, sitting right here on my phone. Wanted to thank me for my stance against the vaccine mandates. You don't have to thank me, really. I appreciate the sentiment, but it's not necessary. And said he was let go by Cumulus for not meeting their vaccine requirements. He says, even more hurtful, I was flat out denied my religious exemption within a day. He said they sent an email, which he confirmed was also sent word for word to other employees with similar requests. He says it was a slap in the face to not even be legitimately considered. And he goes on to explain how, I'm going to say too much. I don't want to give away who it is. But he goes on to explain how when Cumulus needed his help during the worst parts of the pandemic, he was there for them and all the things he did. And he was casually just let go. Folks, you don't treat people that way. I'm not going to let it happen. This fight's been wearing me down, but it's not wearing me out. But I do need your help. There are other people out there that work with Cumulus and elsewhere. I need your help. I can't do this alone. I learned a valuable lesson, and some of the business ventures I've engaged in haven't worked out very well. but many of them have. Thankfully, we'll be announcing again a partnership, and I'll announce it next. Some business ventures I have worked out amazing. Some haven't, but I learned valuable lessons along the way. And one of them is your partners are everything. You can't make up for partners that treat people poorly and just have poor character. You can't. You can't do it. I don't care what kind of business strategy they have. They will screw you in the end. I'm hoping that's not the case here. We could have done some really special things together, especially with that radio show. But I'm not giving up this fight, and I'm working on possible avenues now. It's not easy. They're not making it, they're making it very difficult for a lot of us. But I promise you, it's wearing me down. I lost a lot of sleep over this, but it's not wearing me out. I'm not giving up this fight at all. And I learned another valuable lesson too. If you trust your content, don't ever sign long-term deals with anyone, because they may have a victory over you, what they perceive to be a victory, but I promise you it's Pyrrhic. Some people need to find that out the hard way. All right, let me make this announcement because it's important. But before I get to it, Dave Chappelle, listen, cancellation is real. And I would include the vaccine mandate police because it's all being done for political correctness. It's not being done for science at all. The vaccine mandates have nothing to do with science. So please stop the crap. Take that crap somewhere else, not on this show. I have no interest in listening to your nonsense. If you don't understand the science of natural immunity and can't read the data on vaccination, and if it helps what it does and what it doesn't do, then just go find another show. I'm not interested. But cancellation is real. Dave Chappelle is a comedian who stood up against cancellation. He did a comedy act in his show called The Closer on Netflix, and in it there were some jokes about everyone, but including the transgender community. They're jokes. The guy's a comedian. So, of course, they tried to cancel him with Netflix. Sadly, some of it's working out. Some film festivals apparently are not showing his stuff, as he had said. But Dave Chappelle is not bending the knee and not genuflecting in front of the transgender lobby at all. Matter of fact, he's doubling down and giving kind of a path forward on how people should do it. Here's Dave Chappelle on the transgender lobby demanding meetings with him. Check this out.
To the transgender community, I am more than willing to give you an audience, but you will not summon me. I am not bending to anybody's demands. And if you want to meet with me, I'd be more than willing to, but I have some conditions. First of all, you cannot come if you have not watched my special from beginning to end. You must come to a place of my choosing and a time of my choosing. And thirdly, you must admit that Hannah Gadsby is not funny.
Hannah Gadsby is another comedian who I guess took a shot at Chappelle. But yes, thank you, Joe, for leading the applause.
You got it.
Yes. Listen, you don't have to agree with Chappelle's politics. You don't. I candidly, he went after some friends of mine in the space. And listen, that's fine. The thing about being against cancel culture is if you actually support free speech, you should support free speech for people you don't agree with too. That's the whole point of free speech. That's why we need to build this parallel economy. And that's why I'm proud to announce today a partnership between Rumble, which, as you know, is the free speech video platform. We have taken on YouTube, and we are winning in this fight as we grow at an explosive rate. We are now partnering with Locals, locals.com. Locals, it is I'm very excited because it allows me to communicate with you directly. Now, while I'm up and around, I get a lot of thoughts during the day. I hate giving them to Facebook on Facebook Lives. So I always wanted to do videos, just candid videos, out to dinner with my wife, out watching elections where I can do live updates, watching TVC and a sports story that blows my mind. I want to connect with you directly. So we found Locals to be a fascinating platform. We love it. Locals.com. Please download the app today. You'll see my profile there, Guy, if you wouldn't mind throwing it up on the screen. It'll be active today. I'm at Bongino. I like to keep the names consistent. At Bongino, locals.com. I'm at Bongino. Please follow me there. What it allows creators to do is create a direct portal between us and you. Now, a lot of the content up there is going to be subscription-based. We're going to make it very competitively priced, but I promise you're going to get stuff there you're not going to get anywhere else. Rumble, we started with video. We're moving into cloud. We're moving into payments. We're moving into content now with Locals. We are extremely proud to start this. If you wouldn't mind doing me a favor, some of the content up there you can see. Some of it will be subscription-based. But please check it out. Download the app today, Locals. Locals, go to your app stores, wherever it may be, or go to locals.com. You can see and follow me there. I'm at Bongino. I would deeply appreciate it. I've had my eyes on this platform for a long time. It is, again, a secure portal, a cancel-free portal between me and you. And I want to thank the Nardini Jammies of the world for their pressure on companies to show us that we needed a different way to connect to you free from ad pressure. Yeah. So I would have loved to name it Nandini.com, but we can't do that. So we named it, so at Locals, but Locals been up for a while. I'm going to have Dave Rubin on, who had started the platform, tomorrow to talk about it on the show a little bit as well. So don't miss that. Locals.com. Follow me. I'm at Bongino. Please download the app today. And thank you for your support. As again, we build an entirely different parallel economy free from leftist hacks and cancel culture. I'm really proud of this. We are blowing up by the day on Rumble. We're going to give you an avenue to escape from these leftist lunatics. We're not going to take any of this lying down. All right, got that. It's a two-pager today, and a busy two-pager. Look, a full two-pager there. Coming up next, Joe Biden yesterday gave a speech and claimed to solve a problem that doesn't even exist, again, because he's a liar. That's what Joe Biden does. I'll get to that. And he repeats a false story for the fifth time now. He probably forgot the first four times he said it. I'm getting hungry, so it's no better time to talk about my friends at Omaha Steaks. I gave Guy some burgers and steaks from Omaha Steaks. He's been bothering me ever since to get some more. I told him, just go shopping in my freezer downstairs and take them. He loves Omaha Steaks, so do I. We're an Omaha Steaks household. You want to know my best products, the products I love the most at Omaha Steaks? Well, you can get them. I teamed up with Omaha Steaks to create my own custom box of all my favorite things. Go to omahasteaks.com and type Bongino in the search bar and shop for the Bongino's Favorites box. What are my favorites? Here's what the box includes. Omaha cut ribeyes, jumbo cooked shrimp, chicken breast, potatoes au gratin, their signature seasoning, and my kids' favorite, the triple berry tartlets. Plus, when you use code Bongino, promo code Bongino, you'll save over 50% on your order. And you'll get 12 free Omaha Steaks burgers. They're basically a steak between buns. They are delicious. Little grill lines, toast that bun. I like a little mustard, some onion, lettuce, tomato. Package. Yeah, he loves them too. I know. They're so good. This package is only available for a limited time, so order today. Omaha Steaks isn't just steak. It's the best steak of your life, guaranteed. You know I love my steak. I talk about it all the time. I am a meat-loving fanatic. So go to omahasteaks.com and enter keyword Bongino. Save over 50% when you order the Bongino's Favorites box. Plus, get 12 free Omaha Steaks burgers. This is a limited time deal and a chance for you to try my favorite items from Omaha Steaks. Order now and enjoy a delicious meal with the ones you love. That's omahasteaks.com, keyword Bongino, omahasteaks.com, keyword Bongino. Hey, one thing I neglected to mention about Locals and the partnership with Rumble. If you are a content creator out there, all my friends who do podcasts, whatever, you're on Twitter, you're on Parler, other platforms as well, you can go to Locals, set up an account yourself, and set up that relationship with your audience out there now. There are tons of creators over there now doing great. They're supported by their communities right there. Locals.com, check it out. I don't want to neglect to mention on the creator side as well. So Joe Biden strikes again yesterday. You know how in the beginning of the show I was talking about how leftists, they just stick it in your face. They don't care that they lie about you. They'll say things, we can replace them. Someone mentions on Fox News that, hey, they're talking about replacing us. That's racist. That's xenophobe. They don't care that they're lying. It doesn't matter how many times you discredit their nonsense. Here's Joe Biden yesterday solving a problem that doesn't exist. We've said it on the show 1,000 times, and we're going to do it again because unfortunately you have to smack the left over the head with the truth 1,000 times before they get it. And even then, they still ignore it. Joe Biden yesterday says our economic problems are all being caused by, yep, you guessed it, trickle down. Check this out.
My wife, who's a community college professor, says any nation that out-educates us will outcompete us. Say it again. Any nation that out-educates us will outcompete us. And that's a fact. That's why I resolve that we have to once again build America from the bottom up and the middle out. I've never seen a time in American history when the middle class did well, the wealthy didn't do very well. But I'm tired of trickle down. Trickle down hadn't worked so much for the last 15 years for working class and middle class folks.
Okay, there's, again, for the 1,000th time, there is no such thing as trickle-down economics. It is not a theory. It's not in practice. It's not a thing. Nobody knows what it is because it doesn't exist. It is a fake talking point that was used to discredit the economic success of the Ronald Reagan era, where tax revenue grew to the government as tax rates were cut. Yes, I didn't say that wrong. There is no such thing. Listen again to Thomas Sowell explain and dare your leftist friends as this argument about Joe Biden knocking trickle down for causing all our problems. Ask your friends to please explain what trickle down is and to point to you the actual economic theory of trickle down. I'll bet they can't do it. Here, listen to Thomas Sowell explain it better.
President Obama in December of last year, the market will take care of everything. They tell us jobs and prosperity will eventually trickle down to everyone else. In April of this year, during the Bush years, the wealthy got wealthier, but prosperity sure didn't trickle down. In July, this past summer, Barack Obama, we've tried it their way. It didn't work. We were told that prosperity would start at the top and then trickle down, close quote. Where does this phrase trickle down come from?
Oh, I don't know. It was as far back as the Roosevelt administration. There is it is an incredible thing. There is a non-existent theory that is constantly being attacked. Some years ago in my newspaper column, I challenged anybody to cite any economist outside of an insane asylum who had ever made that argument. Nobody ever came up with a single person.
So when Barack Obama says in this past July, quote, we were told that prosperity.
Who told him?
Nobody told him.
No
economist has ever held that. No politician has ever said it.
I don't know of anybody who's ever said it. In fact, when I put this out, and I went out a nationally syndicated column, various people wrote me and said, well, so-and-so said this, so-and-so said it. Find me the person who said it. I don't want to hear how A said that B said. Find me B and show me where he said it. And that was years ago. Not one example has been offered.
It doesn't matter how many times you bring this up, you will still hear these discredited talking points. And I asked the media, if Donald Trump had done the same thing, cited a repeatedly debunked, discredited lie and talking point, there is no such thing as trickle-down economics. It's a made-up attack. It's a made-up attack on Republican, because the imagery is bad. Trickle down. Oh my gosh, the rich get richer. It's trickling down, these spectacled, top hat wearing, Monopoly guy looking people trickling down breadcrumbs to all of us. There's no such thing. It doesn't exist. When is someone in the media going to call this guy out? There's no such thing. Proving to you there's no such thing, and it's made up. Here's the Tax Foundation in 2021. So not a partisan site. I have this in my newsletter today. I encourage you to read this. This was testimony up on the Hill. You want to see what the rich pay according to the latest IRS data? This was for 2018, the year after the Trump tax cuts. The top 1% of taxpayers paid $616 billion in income taxes. As we can see in Figure 1, which we'll put up next, that amounts to 40% of all income taxes paid. 1 out of 100 people, the top 1%, are paying 40 cents out of every dollar, ladies and gentlemen. Go back to the first part, Keith. 40%. And they're paying, that's the highest share, by the way, since 1980. So when Joe Biden goes, trickle down hasn't worked for 15 years. What are you talking about? The wealthiest are paying the most they've paid in 30 plus years, in 40 years. And they're paying a larger share of the tax burden than the bottom 90% combined. What are you talking about? Do these people even do math? What about, you may say, well, all right, the top 1% are paying 40%. That sounds like a lot. You won't say that if you're a leftist because you don't do facts. Seriously, you're immune to them. Your skull's 6 feet thick. 6 feet thick. But you may say, what about the top 0.1%, the super rich? Well, let's look at them. He says, in case you're thinking, this was the testament, well, the rich make more, they should pay more. The top 1% of taxpayers account for 20% of all income, but they pay 40%. So their 40% share of income taxes is twice their share of the nation's income. Similarly, in 2018, the top 0.1% of taxpayers paid $311 billion in income taxes. That amounted to 20% of all income taxes paid. 1 out of 1,000 people paid 20 cents of every dollar. That's the highest level since 2001. Wait, I thought Joe Biden said trickle down wasn't working for 15 years. That's as far back as the IRS data allowed them to measure. The top 0.1% taxpayers paid a greater share of the income tax burden than the bottom 75% of taxpayers combined. Folks, there's not going to be any accountability for these lies because the media won't ask any questions. Question number one, if you are a fair media person, Joe Biden, what is trickle down? Stop the talking point. Explain the theory and who proposed it. Second, what do the rich pay? What do the super rich pay? How does that relate to income? And why are you lying about what they pay? All right, let me get to my third sponsor and then it's comic relief time during the show. Joe Biden gets caught again for the 5th time telling a story that is an already discredited lie. And then I want to get back to this argument in a minute about why your house, pay very close attention. You a homeowner? Is a lot of your wealth tied up in home equity, meaning it's not liquid? Say you bought your house for $300, it's worth $800. Man, worth $500,000. You may be worth $500,000 in equity, but it's not liquid. It's not a bank account. What if I told you that equity is about to get wiped out? Pay very close attention to these segments coming up. They're important. Hey, today's show brought to you by our friends at Helix Sleep. Listen, I've had a terrible time sleeping over the last few years. Been through a lot medically. It's important to get a good mattress. You're on it 8 hours a night. The only mattress I recommend is Helix Sleep. They can customize a mattress for you. You know how they do it? They have a quiz. It takes just 2 minutes to complete. It matches your body type and sleep preferences to the perfect mattress for you. With Helix, you're getting a mattress you know will be perfect for the way you sleep. Helix has several different mattress models to choose from. They have soft, medium, and firm mattresses. Mattress is great for cooling you down if you sleep hot. Mattress is great for spinal alignment to prevent morning aches and pains. Even a Helix Plus mattress for plus-size sleepers. If you took the Helix quiz, you'll get matched to a perfect mattress for you. Let me tell you the one I was matched to with the Midnight Lux mattress. It's fantastic. Helix is awesome. But you know, you take my word for it. I like something a little firm. That's why I got the Midnight Lux, by the way. If shoulder issues and stuff like that, I like a little bit of support, and it worked great for me. My wife loves it too. Helix was awarded the #1 best overall mattress pick of 2020 by GQ and Wired Magazine. Helix has been recommended by multiple leading chiropractors and doctors as sleep medicine is a go-to solution for improving sleep. Just go to Helix, Helix, helixsleep.com/Dan, helixsleep.com/Dan. Take their 2-minute sleep quiz. It's quick. They'll match you to a customized mattress for you. It'll give you the best sleep of your life. They're so confident they have a 10-year warranty. You get to try it out for 100 nights risk-free. They'll even pick it up for you if you don't love it. You will. Helix even has financing options and flexible payment plans, so a great night's sleep is never far away. Helix is offering up to $200 off all mattress orders and 2 free pillows for our listeners at helixsleep.com/Dan. That's Helix, helixsleep.com/Dan. Great company, great mattress. Sleep good. We're on that mattress 8 hours a night. So showing you Joe Biden doesn't even have a modicum of decency. He will lie to you often about trickle down and other things, but they'll also lie to you about even autobiographical stories of Joe Biden's life where nothing he says is true. Here is Joe Biden now for the 5th time telling the ridiculous false story of the Amtrak guy who told him that he had ridden 75 billion miles on Amtrak. The guy's name is Angelo Negri. This is the 5th time he's told the story. The story is false. It's made up. Listen to him do it again yesterday because the man has no integrity at all. Check this out.
Ange walks up to me and goes, "Joey, baby," grabs my cheek, and I thought the Secret Service was going to blow his head off. I said, I swear to God, true story. I said, no, he's a friend. I said, "What's up, Ange?" He said, "Joey, I read in the paper. You travel 1,200,000 miles on Air Force planes," because they keep meticulous tabs of it. I said, "Yeah." He said, I won't say the whole thing, "big deal." So you know how many miles you travel on Amtrak, Joey? And And I said, no. He said, the boys and I figured out the retirement dinner. He said, you traveled 2 million, I think it was 180, but 2,200,000 miles.
Oh my gosh, ladies and gentlemen, he's making this story up. He's making it up. Biden was the vice president from 2009 to 2017. Okay? Everybody following? Liberals? 2009 to 2017. When he's told this story before in the 4 other iterations of it, he has said that this guy, Angelo Negri, told him this story in his last year as vice president, meaning 2016, 2017. Well, what's the problem? Angelo Negri from Amtrak, the guy he says told him this, died in 2014. What's also a problem is Negri retired from Amtrak in 1993. So how was Biden told this story in 2016 if Negri didn't even work for Amtrak from 1993 on and died in 2014?
Erroneous.
Of course it's erroneous. It doesn't matter. The man has no respect for you at all. They lie. They lie to you all the time about everything because they think you're a sucker and they don't care. You know who's good, however, in catching people in lies? James O'Keefe in Project Veritas. Do you have that? Did you get it? You do? Okay, good. Did I put it in the right spot? I'm just curious during the rundown right here. I did? Really? Wow, I'm impressed. I thought I might have screwed Guy over on that one. Thank you, Guy. Project Veritas is good at catching people in lies. So, one of the things I've always been proud of about being a conservative is a good conservative. We got some bad ones too, let's be candid. But we don't lie to people. We prefer economic freedom and low tax loads because we think people can spend their money better than the government, and we want everyone to pay lower taxes, even liberals. We prefer school choice because schools are better when parents choose them, even for liberals. But liberals don't feel that way, but they lie all the time about what their agenda is. So the race in New Jersey for the governorship, shockingly, is tightening up right now. Jack Ciattarelli, the Republican, is closing the gap fast on the tyrant Phil Murphy, probably one of the top 3 worst governors in the country in New Jersey. A high taxer, a condescending buffoon, a shutdown, lockdown, mask lover, a vax mandate guy. Vax mandate, they don't have a vaccine mandate in New Jersey. Oh, they will if you listen to undercover video taken of Phil Murphy's campaign staff. Here's undercover video by Project Veritas of campaign staffers, as they allege, on the Phil Murphy campaign saying, oh, listen, he's going to do this vaccine mandate, but he has to wait till after the election. And the campaign employee says, listen, that's just because people believe in their freedom and stuff. So he's got to wait till after the election to do it. Check this out.
Lo va a hacer, pero no podía hacerlo antes de la elección.
The independent deciders would not vote for him if he did the vandal.
Because they're into all that my rights, my
Once we have a win, it's like, all right, guns blazing, who cares? I'm in it. Let's do the mandates. Let's do this, the X, Y.
Project Veritas has obtained hidden camera recordings inside Governor Phil Murphy's campaign, including from a senior advisor who admits to hiding information from voters until after the election in order to appeal to undecided and moderate voters.
Pero, ¿cómo así los mandates?
La vaccine mandates. Como California, que está el mandato que todo el mundo tiene que tener la vacuna.
Lo va a hacer, pero no podía hacerlo antes de la elección.
Exacto.
Porque
si no se tira todo
lo
el mundo.
independent y lo undecided.
The independent deciders would not vote for him if he did the vandal.
Because they're into all that my rights, my and they don't care that they kill everybody.
Well, that's good to know then, that after he wins, then he'll do the mandates, the vaccine mandates.
He will.
Folks, they lie to you all the time. This is critical stuff. We have elections coming up. It's important not just to talk about Democrats and how bad they are, but why and what motivates them. They have to lie to you because they know this stuff is serious and they know people care about their bodily sovereignty. So they're afraid to take a stand on it until after the election when there's no penalty because they don't want you to choose, because they know if they put the decision in front of you, it may change the election and give Jack Ciattarelli a win. This is coming after the election, according to the video. They have to lie to you. They can never run on what they actually believe in. Joe Biden wants to hike your taxes. So he keeps saying, oh, don't worry, I'm only going to hike taxes for people worth more than $400,000. He's lying to you. He has to sell it, selling a discredited talking point about trickle down. He has to sell you the story of who he was in his past. This dirt under the fingernails Amtrak guy took the train by telling you lies upon lies. Nothing they tell you is true, ever. These people are liars. And just like we've warned them about mandates, how I told Cumulus back when I heard about this, after they put it out there, just like people have warned cities and states and localities, you institute this vaccine mandate, you are going to lose people. They are not going to give up custody and sovereignty over their own body. They are not wards of the state. We warn them, do not do these mandates, and they're doing them anyway, and companies are getting crushed. Cities are getting crushed as cops leave. Companies are getting crushed as people leave. It is happening. Don't let the Biden administration sell you short. We warned them about lockdowns too, and they didn't listen. They did it anyway. We warn them. They do it. The penalties come to us, and then there's no accountability later. Remember when we warned them about lockdowns? What did we tell them? You lock down the economy, you are going to crush. You are going to crush the small business owner. They do not have enough liquidity. They do not have enough income, many of them saved, to keep their businesses up and running, many of them that are operating on weekly, even monthly budgets. We also warn them, if you shut down the healthcare system, cancer screenings, to any kind of disease screenings, pathogens that'll grow, that these people who are not seeking medical care because of lockdowns are going to find out later when they could have been treated for stage 1 cancer, they're now being treated for stage 4. That's not just with cancer, but other diseases as well. People who weren't diagnosed with tuberculosis, HIV. Now look at this article at NPR of all places, kicking you right in the cojones. We warned them about this. NPR, Kate Wells, October 26, 2021. ERs are now swamped with seriously ill patients, but most don't even have COVID. Read this. So many people are going to die. It says, but now the ERs, they're too full. Even in parts of the country where COVID isn't overwhelming the health system. Patients are showing up to the ER sicker than they were before the pandemic. Their disease is more advanced and in need of complicated care. Months of treatment delays have exacerbated chronic conditions and worsened symptoms. Doctors and nurses say the severity of illness ranges widely, and includes abdominal pain, respiratory problems, blood clots, heart conditions, suicide attempts, and others. Folks, there's never any accountability for these people, ever, because the media could stop this today by just asking basic questions of the Democrats. What is trickle down? Are these tax hikes really not going to affect people making under $400,000? What about their home values and everything else? What about inflation? Isn't that a real tax? Hey, these lockdowns, what about people who have cancer, heart conditions, HIV, other infectious diseases? What happens when they can't get treated? None of these questions were asked because we have such a corrupt media. Is anyone going to ask Murphy today to get on the record about a vaccine mandate, what he's going to do? Phil Murphy, the dreadful governor of New Jersey? Nah, they won't ask. They won't ask. Most of the media will just ignore it and pretend like it didn't happen. All right, I want to get to your house. Ladies and gentlemen, a lot of your wealth is tied up in your home, right? You better rethink that.